Good morning. Whoever was in charge of weather, you did a great job. Oh, were you in charge? Someone told me President Holland has a connection. I think he just calls his dad, probably gets it done. But whatever it is, it works. And it's a beautiful morning. So thank you very much for being here. It's welcome to the site of the future Cole Nellison building, which is going to house the Melissa Nellison Center for Autism. And I believe if you look where the balloons are, if you see where the balloons are staked out here, back behind us, this is the building. From this direction, right? Where's my architect? It's that way, yeah. So we're standing in the back of the building going that way. So you are where the building is going to be 12 months from now. And it's going to be a great thing. I'm Scott Cooksey. I'm Vice President for Development and Alumni Relations, and it's a glorious day, and we are all glad to be here this morning, especially those of us at UVU. It's great to have all of you here, too. So let me begin by recognizing some of our special guests just in groups. I'm not going to try to get all the names because there's just too many special people here, but you'll see later up here in the front, basically the front two rows, our donors to this building, the people that made it happen, are sitting up here. Representing, we have several of our members of our Board of Trustees, including Chairman Elaine Dalton. Thank you for joining us this morning. We have, hold your applause, we'll get it all at the end. How's that? The UVU Foundation Board, we have several of those members who are here with us today. And of course, the UVU leadership, including President Holland, who brought his lovely wife, Paige, with him today. So thank you for being with us, Paige. And, you know, there's a great need in this community for services and resources to support families who are affected by autism. Utah has one of the highest statistically diagnosed rates of autism of any place in the country. As everyone arrived, we asked you to take a hard hat, and I think you were handed out and they were in the chairs and things like that. But to give an idea of how many of us are impacted by autism, if you, your family, people that you know are impacted by autism, put your hard hat on real quick. Look around. Look around. The vast majority of this crowd. So thank you very much for doing that. I wanted to make a little impact there on that. So many people are touched by it. First, I want to bring up Teresa Carden. She's the interim director of the Melissa Nellison Center for Autism. And then Melissa Nellison is going to say a few words, followed by President Matt Holland. Teresa?
Thank you, Scott. Wow, this is amazing. I have to tell you, this has been quite a journey for many, many, many people. And I'm just here representing the many people that have contributed to this moment. So thank you for the opportunity to represent all of you. I appreciate that. If you are not familiar with the mission statement of the Melissa Nellison Center for Autism, our goal is to be the resource where the university and the community come together for education and support related to autism spectrum disorder. That's our goal. And this new building, I'm just going to take a brief moment to tell you a little bit about some of the things in this new building that will help us do that, in addition to the things that we're already doing on campus. There's going to be about 15,000 square feet of the building, and there will be 2 floors. The first floor will house a lot of things for individuals on the spectrum, so there will be a laboratory classroom. There will also be a laboratory classroom built in the McKay building behind you, so it will house our first grade through third grade participants. And then in the new building, we will have a pre-K through K classroom for individuals on the spectrum. The reason we need these laboratory classrooms is because we have a new special education program coming. We have our existing autism studies program, and our students are going to be working in those classrooms as they learn how to better serve our friends on the autism spectrum. And then we're going to send them out all across Utah and all across the country and eventually the world to go and support autism spectrum disorders. So in addition to that, we will also have some therapy rooms where we'll be doing things with our social work team on campus. We'll be doing some counseling, some family support. We'll be doing some screenings for autism. Many of you who know someone with autism know that it's very hard when those first initial diagnoses come through that, where do I go? What do I do? And we're really excited because we're going to be offering a case management program where we can actually help individuals find some of those resources that they need to gain access to. We also are going to have a resource library for families. I have to tell you, this was kind of Melissa Nellison's baby, and I'm going to let her really shine with that because she knows a lot of places to get good resources. So if you are a family member and you have someone who is done using some of their resources, some of those very expensive card packs and some of the games and things, and you want a new resource, you can come trade it out. So it's going to be a place where families can come and make that happen. We're going to have some sensory rooms so that we can really find some motivating opportunities for individuals on the spectrum. I don't know about you, but I think really cool swings and bouncy balls and really fun things like that are highly motivating to a lot of people, and we know they are for our friends on the spectrum. It's going to have a lounge for our Passages program, and you saw a brief picture of it. I have to tell you, I cannot wait to go into that room and really experience and participate with our they're not kids, with our adults on the spectrum who are here at UVU. So we have a lot of amazing things happening. And one of the things that I think will impact many of you is that we are going to have a nice training facility where our community can come. We're going to have our business partners, our first responders, our educators. We are going to have a lot of training about autism. So if you know someone who needs more training, who wants more training, please let us know, because we are starting to design those trainings right now before the center's even built, so that we'll be able to jump right in as soon as we have our brand new training facility as well. So thank you very much for being here to support us, and I cannot wait until we get to see this in a year. So thank you very much.
Good morning. Thank you all for coming. First, I would like to just say to all of our donors, sorry, I'm going to try and keep myself under control. Thank you so much. Thank you to my husband Keith and to the rest of the donors. Thank you so much for making this possible. It's a very exciting day for us, and I'm just incredibly grateful. So Cole was born to Keith and me on August 11th of 1998. I knew before we left the hospital that Cole was just different, that something just wasn't quite right. Just before his second birthday, he was still not talking and at times seemed not to be able to hear very well. And after a visit with our pediatrician, he suggested speech therapy. And so we went from there, and after that, a visit with a neuropsychologist up at Primary Children, a diagnosis of autism was given. I can't explain the emotions one experiences upon hearing those words, "Your child is autistic." Unlike traumatic medical diagnoses, the doctor does not give you a recommendation or a plan for treatment. Rather, they give you some literature and basically say, "I'm sorry and good luck." I'll wait. Maybe it has a banner after that, come to Chili's for free drinks or something. A quick Google search will provide you with a myriad of autism cures, from diets to chelated minerals and vitamins, to pig secretin injections, etc., etc. We tried all of these and found that there was no magic pill or cure, but that didn't mean that there wasn't hope. When you change your Google search from cure for autism to treatment for autism, you will soon hear about early intervention. A child with autism lives in his or her own world with walls and doors that are quickly closing. Early intervention has the potential to keep those doors from closing completely, opening the possibility for the child to allow others in. I came upon this explanation on the Autism Speaks website that I would like to share. Although research and experience have revealed many of the mysteries surrounding autism, it remains a complex disorder that impacts each child differently. However, many children with autism have made remarkable breakthroughs with the right combination of therapies and interventions. Most parents would welcome a cure for their child, or a therapy that would alleviate all the symptoms and challenges that make life difficult for them. Just as your child's challenges can be summed up in one word that can't be remedied with one therapy. Each challenge must be addressed with an appropriate therapy. No single therapy works for every child. What works for one child may not work for another. What works for one child for a period of time may stop working. Some therapies are supported by research showing their efficiency, while others are not. The skill, experience, and style of the therapist are critical to the effectiveness of the intervention. So let me repeat that the skill, experience, and style of the therapist are critical to the effectiveness of the intervention. But where do you find these therapists? It is difficult to find people who have the basic understanding of autism and how early intervention works and the commitment to the child it requires. When Cole was diagnosed in 2000 and in the 15 years following, there have been few places here in Utah County that provided this training in an organized setting. In 2000, you had to find someone with a huge heart and a desire to make a difference, who probably didn't know what they were getting into, but had a willingness to learn. Sorry, don't look at me. We are fortunate to have found some of those people. Sorry, I should have brought Kleenex up here. We owe our team of tutors, Chelsea, Bo, Jana, Jen, Rose, and Hillary, a debt that cannot be repaid. For their 3 years they spent individually with Cole as a group working with Cole.
There you go.
Thank you. And then there is Bree. Sorry. There are angels in heaven who pale in comparison to Bree Fowles. Bree worked with our team in the early years, and every week since then as a team of one. Building on what she was taught, searching for new solutions, and pushing for Cole each and every week to improve. While Cole might say often, "No, not that Bree girl," which is a lot, huh, Cole? He loves her and surely says often, that he does. And he understands how much she loves him and cheers him on. We also owe a huge debt to Cole's teachers in the public school system. And among them was his teacher, Laura Stuber, who has passed on, but she was a wonderful teacher. His teacher, Rebecca Farnsworth, she now lives in Denver, but we still keep in contact with her. She's a wonderful teacher. He has a great teacher now, and his high school, Kyra Benson, who has just been so fun and so sweet with him. They're wonderful to continue to build upon his early intervention skills with Bree to help Cole to reach new heights and to continue to push him. So when President Holland approached us with the idea of the center, its mission to train and provide awareness to hosts of people willing to help our children, it took us about 10 seconds to say that we were in. As we went to the community and our friends and told the story of the center, they all quickly lined up and said that they were in as well. Our hope and dream is that this center will be a beacon of hope, and that it will be as successful in training an army of soldiers for all of us as we help our families face the challenges of autism. So thank you to all of you, and thank you, President Holland, for coming to us with this center. Thank you.
Well, by executive order, immediately following this meeting, I will be establishing for the university the Melissa Nelson Tissue Dispenser on campus. So, thank you, Melissa. I wasn't quite prepared for that, but I should have been. So moving, so appropriate for what we're doing here today. We're so grateful. This is such a glorious moment on this campus. You know, it's just an exciting time to be part of Utah Valley University. There are so many great things happening on this campus. But in the midst of all these great things, there are some very special things. And this is one of them, if it's not right at the top of the list. And that's because it's not just special today. We already see the significance of this. But what we can't quite see yet is where this is going to go. And I want to make the prediction right here that this is the day of history that will be remembered, not just 5 years or 10 years, but 20 and 30 years from now, when we look back on the truly exceptional things of Utah Valley University. I believe this center is going to be right dead center on that list. You know, the most important and best projects I think that we can be involved with in life are those that address issues that are both, or can be addressed at both the individual level and the global level. And we have that here today. And it starts with the individual. It starts with this handsome young man right here in front of me, Cole Nellison. It's his building. And Cole's here today with, I understand, your classmates. Is that right? Are these Cole's classmates over here? Can they wave? Can the Cole's classmates? And for those of you that weren't there, we just came out of a really wonderful breakfast where we asked Cole if he was happy. And he gave a resounding yes that kind of said everything for the morning. So this is about Cole, and it's about his friends. It's about dealing in the concrete and the individual today, doing the very best we can for these people that we love. And we're doing that. And I'm so grateful to my colleagues here at Utah Valley University. I'm grateful for Teresa, who's brought tremendous leadership, her own great training, the efforts that she's put in. I'm grateful to Dean Yells and Dean Fossen. It's most universities operate in silos, individual academic entities that get so specialized and so insular that they can't ever work together. And we have not seen that here. We've seen just the opposite. 2 deans, 2 colleges, multiple departments, people coming together excited, not worried about turf, worried about solving problems and achieving things together. And I'm grateful for their leadership. And then, of course, all of the donors who have contributed to this moment. The Burtons, the Woods, Vivint, doTERRA, the list goes on and on, UCCU. I shouldn't start because I'm not going to get everybody, but we are so profoundly grateful for making this possible. And I was starting to say that we're dealing with this on the individual level and the global level. So just today, this is the cover of The Economist. Perhaps the most venerable news and thought magazine in the world by my lights. And the cover story is about autism. And not just, it's not how to solve autism, actually. I think the subheading here is key. How to deal with autism. I've said this over and over again. This is not going to be, as grand as our aims are, I don't think UVU will be the institution that will solve the genetic issues. But I think there's no reason in the world why we shouldn't be the national, if not global, leader for how you deal with autism. That's who UVU is. We're the folks that practically deal with the issues around us. And there are few issues that face our community like this issue of autism. I mean, again, if just to think about it, just a few lines from what The Economist says. In America in 1970, 1 child in 14,000 was reckoned to be autistic. The current estimate is 1 in 68, or 1 in 42 among boys. I'll just add parenthetically, I think our Utah figures are in the low 50s in a combined fashion, one of the highest in the nation. Autism is a condition that defies simple generalizations, except one. The potential of far too many autistic people is being squandered. And I look at Cole and Henry Burton and others. You see their potential, this great class of kids over here. They have things to contribute. They have lives to lead, and we're going to help them do that. And we're going to do it by training the trainers, by getting the educators properly equipped. That's the chief thing that The Economist says needs to happen. We need to provide autistic children with schooling that suits them. Teaching autistic children effectively will require more funding to train both specialist and mainstream teachers. In one study, 60% of British teachers said they felt unprepared to teach autistic children. Well, it may be a few years before we solve England's problems. But we're starting today to solve Utah's problems, and we'll do it quickly, and we'll do it effectively. As the leading provider of teaching training in the state, we will provide the teachers best equipped to deal with this most important issue. And we'll do it because of the leadership of the Nellisons, the Woods, the Burtons, these great companies, and all of you who are here today. So, on behalf of a very grateful community, very grateful institution, our faculty, our students, our staff, I say thank you to our donors, our friends. I pay tribute to our leaders for this very important and historic moment. Thank you very much. With that, I would like to invite Melissa and Keith Nellison and their son Cole to join me. All right, get a load there. About 3. 1, 2, 3. Good job. Thanks, everybody.